everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over figures from Black Panther and Wakanda Forever from Marvel Legends. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. So here's Ross next to the other Ross, and they both look really good together. He stands at about 6 inches tall or so, and they're essentially the same figure, so I'm not really going to go over that much as far as articulation goes. But the color is way better. I think with times, things have gotten more comfortable, more flashy, more, stylized. And you get this kind of style that looks way better than this one. This is just drab and, boring. This is new and vibrant and fresh. I like how the MCU is getting a fresher take on their characters and their costuming. You get a way better head sculpt, I would think, for now at least. This one looks a little bit younger. This one looks a little bit older. You can keep it for the age progression of the character. I'm not only going to go over articulation that much, seeing as the exact same body down to like everything else, just color is different. You also get a different weapon though. One is longer, one is shorter. This one comes with an actual kind of, port to put in any blast effects. This one does not. Nice figure. I would keep both, honestly, and maybe get more for civilian, army building and kit bashing. My one big weakness for these guys is they cannot stand, though. The feet are awful, and just, it's the worst thing about this body. They just keep falling no matter what. It's a huge shame because I wish this was better, but the amount of effort I have to put in to make these things stand isn't really worth it. The best part about this figure isn't even on this figure right now. Nakia stands at just under 6 inches tall or so. She's kind of bland to me because this figure wasn't really used that much, or at least his costume wasn't really used that much in the film. It's a nice costume, looks really good. It has some good articulation, but doesn't really work that well for me. Back, forward, it's a dumbbell joint, it's fine. You can do a lot of great emotional posing, up and down, all the way around, swivel. Really nice double joint elbows, I gotta say. Really nice double joint knees, I gotta say. Splits, up, really nice, down. And then you get a swivel here, down, up, pivot, hula hoop, pivot, nothing for the waist, all the way around really nicely for this. I just wish the costume was a different color, that's all. You do get these two little rings that are very boring compared to these rings over here. You get this head that is fantastic, and the best part about the figure entirely. It's wonderful, super good, fits on the old one, and I don't think I'm going to take it off. It's just so nicely done compared to the old head. It just leaps and bounds in just everything for this head. It's just wonderful. This is just trash for me. She also comes with these two fists. One is another holding hand for some reason. The other is an actual fist. I don't know why. She already has two holding hands. I don't understand this at all. Just give her two fists and two holding hands and be done with it. But yeah, it's just a weird figure all around that doesn't really, make sense to me. The alternate head is the best part about it, and I feel like that's the reason that they made this figure in the first place. Namor stands at slightly over 6 inches tall. The reason I'm putting him here on the list is just because he isn't really that humanoid looking. There's a lot of joints and stuff you could see. I know it's an action figure, and I'm critiquing an action figure over being an action figure, but they could have done something better, I think, in this case. It's just weird to me seeing all these joints and these little molding errors and issues. They could have done a little bit better with him. I wanted a crown, dang it. That little, Quetzalcoatl crown kind of thing. That would have been super cool. Maybe a cape. Make him look better. Make him look better, I would think. It's just, he could look way nicer. Yeah, that's what I really wanted from him. To look way better. Back, forth, all the way around. He's on a joint. He should be on a ball joint. It would have given him a lot more expressions and whatever. This is free floating, by the way. You can go hula hoop on this. No swivel over here. That's a shame. You can swivel around here, though, which is fine. It does break up the abs a little bit, which is kind of weird for the anatomy thing. Again, this thing wasn't really made that much for, I think, human anatomy just to look like the character, and it sacrifices that over the action figure. It bothers me. There is a hinge joint over here that's kind of weird. It doesn't really want to move on mine. You get a hinge joint that moves fine over here. It splits, and then up, down, all the way back for this one. I love this. Swivel here. This is the best part about the figure. It's super nice, really well done, painted incredibly well, sculpted incredibly well. His feet are fantastic. They're wonderful. Basically perfect in sort of every way. So, yeah, Namor is really good. He can actually stand this time around. He can stand pretty well as opposed to the other figures. So I'll give him that over the other ones. He also gets these two hands over here. And he also comes with this spear. which is really nice, but really rubbery, and that kind of sucks because it was really bent out of the packaging. So, yeah, that's Namor. He's really, really nicely done, but just had a lot of weird toyetic things, and also his braces keep falling down. So yeah, goodbye, Namor. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. And while she's here, Shuri is around under 6 inches tall or so. Very nice looking figure in the center. Very horrible looking figure over here. This is just awful. I mean, look at this. This is just atrocious and really just not well done at all. They really put the bare minimum into this character, and it shows. It's just not that great and just terrible. It's trash to me. This is fantastic and perfect, and the Shuri I'll be using for my shelf. Wonderfully done. You get a swivel and then up and down. Looks really nice. You get an up this far, down, all the way around. You get a single joint elbow. It was back in 2018. They didn't care. So for this thing, you also get a swivel and then an up and down for this. It also can clip onto her wrist very nicely. No breakage or anything. Really nicely done as an accessory, by the way. It's super cool and really, really well done. You get some limited articulation here. It's not that great, I would guess, you know. Nothing for the hips either, I wouldn't think. There's nothing for the hips at all. You kind of get some splits over here. You get an up and a down, and you kind of get some double jointedness in the knee. That's kind of weird. It kind of clashes a little bit. Doesn't do that much on this one, but on this one, you get this weird kind of double jointedness in the knee. Speaking of double jointed, you're going to swivel her around to actually get her articulation for this. It's really nicely done for this piece over here. You do get a down and up and then a pivot with 2 peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Really nicely done figure. I'm very glad they did this Shuri justice, and yeah, I'm definitely keeping this one and getting rid of the other one. I'm just super happy though. She was really great in the movie, did a really nice job. M'Baku stands at about 6.5 inches tall, and he's the next figure on our list. Yeah, he's not from the movie, but who cares? He is in the movie. He's a great character in the movie. He looks wonderful. So, just going over him real quick, he has this cool staff. It's really nicely done. It's pretty awesome and slightly dusty. I haven't really used this guy that much, but it's awesome. It reminds me a lot of Rafiki, this staff. So, with M'Baku, he looks wonderful. This is not the new edition. This is the Build-A-Figure edition. It has, I think, better, at least, face sculpt. So that's why I kept this guy around. You do get an up this far, down. You get a swivel. You get a little bit of pivot for attitude. He has a lot of attitude, the guy. Up this far, down. You can kind of go, moving this off, by the way, all the way around. You get a swivel over here. You get double joint elbow that crashes into this, which is kind of bad, I would think. You get a swivel for his hand, and then down and up, and then you get the same thing on this side over here. You get a swivel up here. You get no articulation down there. Kind of a shame. Doesn't really work that well for splits. Doesn't really work that well for up or back this far. You do get a somewhat double jointed knee that works kind of okay. If you kind of fudge it a little bit, you get a swivel at the top. You do get some nice rotation at the top as well. You get down, up, and then pivot with 2 peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And this piece is really nice. You want to put him on your Doctor Doom figure from 2020, so that's a really nice piece as well. Putting on his back is pretty easy. There's a large peg and then a peg hole into the back. Just slot that in, and you're good to go from M'Baku. Really nice looking figure. I'm really happy with this guy and how he came out and turned out. He's super cool in the movie, and I think super cool in real life from what I heard. Really, really cool guy. I totally blanking on his actor's name, but Winston Duke. Yeah, really nice looking figure here and really well done. So, spoiler alert, I guess Shuri is the Black Panther. Yeah, everyone's not really surprised here. A lot of leaks, a lot of rumors, a lot of drama, whatever. Yeah, Shuri's the Black Panther. She did a great job as Black Panther. It was fine, it was fun. So, yeah, they look really nice together, standing side by side. Moving on, we also get her height, which is, I would say, 6 inches, a little bit under, which is very nice for the figure. It really tracks. Very nicely done on this. It's a beautiful figure over here. We get a lot of gold, a lot of black, a lot of texture. I love the texture. It almost looks 3D printed, which is a really nice touch. It's super well done, really good, and just looks very Black Panther-esque. Yes, Chadwick Boseman passed away. It's incredibly sad, and I do find that they've really did him justice in this, and this looks really wonderful. I even like how it matches her, paint on the top. I didn't really notice that till now, but it's very nicely done. Really well done on that. This is a really immaculately done figure. It, again, does the Black Panther suit justice. Looks really cool and is incredibly neat. Really, really well. Wow. Okay, I'm just kind of rambling over a little bit. On to articulation. So, going to the head, it goes back, forward, swivel, a little bit pivot. Very nicely done. It is a, ball joint. So, yeah. Up this far down, you kind of crash into this. So, be very careful with that, alright? Just be really, really delicate with it. Because it's not going to want to go up too far. But you can get a swivel out of it. You can get a double hinge elbow. These are like the thinnest, most like somewhat anemic looking limbs I've seen. Very, very thin. That's kind of scary. Scary thin. Swivel and then up and then down on this clawed hand. You also get another clawed hand. And you get a fist hand for that and a fist hand for that. So claws and fists all around for the Black Panther. They all have the same articulation for all of them. You get a swivel all the way around, back and forward, side to side, you know the drill. Out this far really nicely, up, down, back. Works out very nicely. You get a swivel up here, a pivot down here, and down and up. And then 2 pegos at the bottom of the feet. It's a really nice looking figure. I really love it, and I'm just really happy with this. This is really awesome. It'll go great in the apparently new Young Avengers team that will be happening sometime soon. So I can't wait to see that. She looks great. Again, the feet need to learn how to stand, and yeah, there's that. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Riri Williams' Ironheart stands at just above 6 inches tall, maybe even 6.5 almost. Really nice looking figure, super duper cool. And number 3 on our list, here she is next to Shuri, but putting her aside, we get a nice looking figure here with a lot of stuff going on. Wow, this is really nicely done. I'm really happy with this. This is super cool. There's a lot of echoes to Iron Man. There's a lot of echoes to Black Panther and Wakanda tech. It's a nice little mishmash of everything, including Riri's love for sort of, I guess, cars? She liked cars, I think, in the movie. I don't think that was really explored. She loved this one red car, so it probably was inspired by that metal shop and all that stuff, tech and everything. Wonderful, wonderfully done figure as far as this goes. Really beautiful looking. It has a little even heart over here, which is really kind of cute. So, going to articulation, just real quick, you get a swivel, you get up and down on the joint, you get kind of up nice on this, pretty okay on that. The articulation kind of suffers. I just really love the mold. The sculpt looks really wonderful. Really good elbow on that. Very nicely done. Really cool. You can take these off, by the way, and they are kind of hindersome a little bit to trying to move it all around. You do get a round over here, left and right, up and down. You get splits, not that much. You get up this far and down and back pretty nicely. You get a swivel all the way here. Pretty good on that. You also get down and then up with no pivot and 2 peg holes in the bottom of the feet. Nicely done figure. Just, it doesn't have that much articulation that really is that great, But looking past that, for me, at least, I go by how I look at the figure initially, and it looks awesome. I probably could have put this below the Black Panther figure, but that one gives me kind of this little, twang of sadness a little bit. So this one gives me a lot of happiness and looks really cool and just amazing. And I really, love this look and design. It's super wonderful and really nicely done. So you can take off the hand and then take this off and then put on this little sort of like weapon thing, and that's it. You just peg that on there. That's all you need. There's also some exhaust ports you could put this into as well, or put back into at least. There's a little port right here, an attachment. You could put this right in there if it fit, I think. Yeah, there we go. It kind of like slots in, and there's a little port down here you can just peg into right there, and a little exhaust fume port thing. Just watch out so you don't break it off the arm. And there's that. You also do get a bevy of other accessories like repulsor blasts with hands that can have repulsor blasts in them, left and right, that look really cool. You can also get these twirly swirly smoke you could put around that, which looks really cool. So you can have it with or without. You get a second one as well, so that's neat if you want to use that. You can also put them on her feet with those peg holes too. And lastly, you get her head, which is really nicely done. You just gotta take this off, give it a pop, and then pop this on. And yeah, that's a really nice head sculpt. Really nicely done. Wow. That's super cool. Good head sculpt on this. You get a swivel, and then down, and then up. This figure does come with a lot of stuff, and I think that's why I appreciate it more than the Black Panther figure too. Yeah, it's a deluxe figure and has the advantage of being a higher price point, but you get more for that price point. And this just looks so awesome to me. I've always been a fan of these big robot guys. I mean, look at my avatar over here. They look super cool together, and yeah, they fight crime. I'm just really happy with Riri Williams' Ironheart. Really nicely done figure. I love an actual regular human body for her just to be a civilian. But with all this stuff you've got for her, I'm really happy with it just as is, and how nice it looks with the amount of stuff it comes with. Next up is Atuma. He stands at around 7 inches tall or so. Really huge, very nicely done. Are two sort of villains of the piece, I would guess. Atuma is just mostly a brute, while Namor is the main villain. But I was happy to get Atuma in any way, shape, or form, because I really wanted him for my Cabal, Masters of Evil, what have you. He looks great. I love everything about this. The tribal look, it's very, the opposite of Namor, kind of. He looks like he's made from shells from the ocean, little parts and pieces. You have a hammerhead shark for a head, dress at least. Looks really cool up here. You have this breather over here, looks really good. Some nice sort of like a spine from something over here, I'm guessing. Maybe some coral. A shell from maybe like an old crustacean from like the deep. You get a bunch of spines over here from some other fish. Maybe they're all just fins or something. You get that iconic kind of earring. His ears, I can't tell if they're pointed or not. They look pretty good. His expression is very, not really that great. I wanted greater teeth or something. That'd be, even better. Come down here, some more like fins or kelp or something, or more bones. Little pouch, satchel back here. Looks really good. The armor down here is really neat. I love how fishy it looks. And even the weapons, they look great. Look like they're made from bones or something. Really nicely done on that. Wow, super cool. Yeah. A lot of scariness and a lot of detail put into this. There's like a jawbone from like a shark over here, or some other piranha kind of fish. There's another spinal cord over here. Really nicely done. The feet look kind of small to me. They could be a bit bigger. I'm okay with it because he does stand pretty well actually. So yeah, the accessories look really nice. I just showed them off. They're pretty cool. You also get this little ropey thing. You can have him hold the rope as well. And yeah, articulation time. Back, not that great because of the hair. His hair is actually really nicely done. I didn't talk about that. You also get a lot of cool scars on his back and everything. Really nice touch. Back, forward, swivel, a little bit of pivot for attitude. Up, not really that great because of this thing. Down, pretty okay. Swivel, and then double jointed elbow. Works out pretty fine. Not really too great though. Swivel, and then in and out, and then what's this one? Swivel in and out. Fine, same thing. You get a swivel over here, back and forth, all the way around mostly, but mostly back and forth. You get a good crunch on this guy. You don't really get a swivel for... not really, actually. That's a shame. Out, in, up. Very nice. Down. I like how his outfit accommodates for his articulation. That's what I really like about most of this guy. Is that, yeah, you get some suffering because of this thing up here, but his legs move really well, so you can get him into dynamic posing and stuff, and looking really scary and intimidating. You get a swivel over here, you get a pivot, and then down, and then up. It does break apart this thing a little bit, you lose that, but when you're getting attacked by this guy, you won't care. Really tiny toes. We also get 2 peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Atuma's really cool. I've always loved the character. He looks awesome, and yeah, while he isn't like he is in the comics, he looks even better, I think, here. Wonderful. Especially next to Namor. I'd love to get Namora and maybe some other Talokan people, so that'd be great, Bring on the blues. Yeah. It's just like Avatar. Weird, right? I'm surprised to see my number one character of this film not only used to be a Build-A-Figure, isn't a Build-A-Figure in this, but is a repainted figure of a Build-A-Figure, and basically not really that great in some eyes, is one of my favorites in this wave, and my top favorite for this whole wave. So give it up for Okoye, who stands at around just under 6 inches tall or so. Super nicely done. This is how you do a figure. You put a lot of effort, a lot of heart, a lot of soul into it. Unlike the Build-A-Figure that I'm immediately going to right now just throw away. We've already went over this, I believe. It's just okay. I like the oranges and the golds, but this just blows it out of the water entirely. So going over the head sculpt, it's fantastic. Really nice. Really captures the look of the actress. That's just awesome. I'm super happy. She did a great job in the movie. I'm really excited about seeing what she does in the future. She was great as Michonne in the Walking Dead series and great as Okoye, so give it up. I'm really happy though. Really nice head sculpt, very nice paint on the eyes. Looks wonderful. The tattoo on the head is phenomenal. Beautiful. Amazing. Looks really great and incredibly detailed. The body is super detailed as well. We get some really nice look for this armor. It is a little more pinkish red, which is great. The gold contrasts nicely against that. We do get this little bangle necklace over here too. She didn't have before. We get some great paint on these little gold sort of rings around her neck. We do get up and down, swivel. You get up, down, all the way around. I think I already did the articulation, but why not while I'm going through this? You get a nice swivel over here. And just the detail put into this is really great. The swivel, and then the weapons are also just plain silver, which is really nice and matches the one from the movie. I was kind of tracking that as I was watching the film, but that looks really great. And this knife looks really great. I finally have a little knife in the collection. I found it in the meatloaf. Anyways, you get some swivel over here, very nicely done. You can get a little hole over here, but you can just, yeah, that's one drawback of this. That's kind of a shame. The paint looks really nice under here. They did a nice touch at least painting all that. The belt looks pretty cool. It's kind of just sort of soldered on in a way and glued on. Really nicely done for that belt. Looks really cool. You get some nice paint over here. Very well detailed. The back looks really good. This is really nice. There's little frays everywhere and little hand-stitched things, and it looks so good. And these little tassels are really nice. They weren't on the first one, by the way, so this is probably a new sculpt for this. Yeah, it looks way better and kind of covers that weird sort of just gap over here where the thighs meet, and just you lose that. But it just looks so much better, and wow, I'm just really happy about this. The legs are fine. They were redone, I believe, or not redone, but yeah, they actually were redone. Yeah, they were redone. You get boots instead of these weird, whatever these are. I don't know. Yeah, it's just way better in every possible way, every conceivable way. Up and down, swivel to pivot, or move at least. That's fine. You get some pivot and then down and up with peg holes at the front of the feet. Pretty interesting. Really nicely done on this figure. I'm super happy about Okoye. Excellent job with the acting, excellent job with the character. I want to see her in the third one. They're going to definitely do a third one because Black Panther was doing gangbusters. So, yeah. You also get, yeah, these. I already went over them. I love how they're silver. They're really cool. I'm just very happy with this and the whole wave, too. Overall, these figures look like they leapt from the screen straight into the plastic. It's super awesome to see these figures come to life. They're really nicely done, especially in the sculpt and paint department. The articulation sometimes suffers for these, but it has to happen in order for them to look just as much as their movie counterparts as possible. Ross is a straight up reuse. Yes, he's good for army building, but not much else. The head sculpt is the best part about him. Same with Nakia. She isn't really an army builder per se, but the head sculpt is amazing on her. And the best part about the figure, the color scheme isn't really that great and doesn't really catch my eye that much. Namor is okay. His staff is really bendy and weird, and he looks very action figure-y with all those joints sticking out. It's kind of strange to me. They did capture the look of his face a lot, and I wish he had that headdress and cape. Would have been way better for the figure. Shuri looks amazing after that abomination of the other figure, yet I don't think she's my favorite, but she's a really nice figure as far as paint goes. M'Baku is such a good figure, I didn't even need to get the new version. This is really great. Yes, he lacks an articulation in some places, but I think the paint and sculpt work really brings it home with this one. That cloak in the back is really nice. I use it for my retro Doctor Doom. And his head sculpt is really great here too. It's all matte, not shiny. That staff is really neat too. Reminds me a lot of Rafiki from The Lion King. The Black Panther suit is awesome, and I don't know why I didn't see Shuri in it earlier, especially with that head sculpt. It was really cool. I kept myself in the dark as to who this was, and while I'm not surprised, I can't wait to see what the figure can do in the future, especially with that nice color scheme, with the gold and silver, nice and muted, and it just looks super nice and really awesome. Ironheart is really cool as well. I like that we have an Iron Man type character back in the force. I'm really happy with how it came out. He looks just like a muscle car. It's super neat. We have a lot of nice little telltales to Ironheart with a little heart on the chest. And all the accessories are really great for it, and I'm very happy that this came out as great as it did. Attuma looks super cool. I love the addition of all the different fish parts and skeletons to his outfit. It looks very scary and menacing. He's really tall too, and the color of his skin's really awesome with that nice kind of blueberry kind of blue. There isn't really much to complain about him except for his shoulders. It could be a little better, but the rest of him is really nice, and I'm glad that skirt adds for the articulation and makes it even better. Okoye is the winner here. Not only did her character impress me a lot during the film, but her action figure impressed me a lot during the film, that it was a complete betterment of the previous figure, and I'm just super happy that this is here in the plastic with all the great articulation, sculpting, posing, and paint that this figure can offer, with the accessories that are even better than before. I'm just very happy that it exists, and this whole wave with all these figures are really wonderful. I'd highly recommend getting Okoye, the Black Panther, Attuma, and Ironheart. Maybe get some of the rest if you want, or wait for better ones on the horizon. It's going to probably happen with a third movie, or at least Namor might appear in the Fantastic Four, but what's for sure is that the Black Panther will leave a legacy that will never be forgotten. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned!